Hello, everyone. Welcome back for another issue of Varsity Hues, issue 12. Paint the Town Red. Welcome to all nerds here. We are this week we're once again playing Masks: A New Generation from Magpie Games. Please give a warm welcome to our cast as they introduce themselves. Charu, who are you?
It's me. I'm Rue. My pronouns are she, her. I am playing Danvi, whose pronouns are she, he, and he is the redeemed former villain, trying to be something of a hero now.
Simon, who are you?
It's me, Simon. My pronouns are he, she, they, and I am playing Manny Moreno, aka Kamazotz, whose pronouns are he, him, who is the transformed, who is a little bat boy.
Alex, who are you?
Hey everyone, I'm Alex. My pronouns are he, him, and I am going to be playing Floas, whose pronouns are she, her. She is the Gladiator playbook by Brandon Leon Gambetta and is a big, cool, burly alien.
Viditya, who you be?
Hey everybody, I'm Viditya. I use he, him pronouns, and I will be playing Rodasi, who is Orbital, a part of the Legacy playbook. And she is like the odd one out, the black sheep of the family, who they're really trying to not make take up the mantle, but she's going to show them.
And I'm Kevin. My pronouns are currently he, him. I am playing the editor-in-chief to this little writer's room in which we make this little comic book of a couple different series. This is issue 12, as I mentioned. Last week, we saw our heroes get in trouble at school, play some dodgeball. They destroyed a gym, met some other nice and not so nice people, and got detention and got bullied and gotten dates. And now all of our little guys, it's not their birthday, but they get to go on patrol. The cover of this week's issue is all of our heroes. The cover is the style of the wonderful artist Darwin Cook, sort of that very classic like golden age almost style. If you've seen Justice League New Frontier, either the comic or the movie, it's that kind of style. And it's all of our heroes dressed as golden age heroes, so they're not in their own costumes, and they're doing like this very heroic lunge at a villain, and we just see the villain silhouette in their general body, and like the villain's wearing like this big red cape, and to the side of the villain are a bunch of minions in green. And as we open up on the issue, we get an establishing shot of which one of you brats is going to be the moody one on a rooftop looking down in the shadows at night in the city.
I want it to be Tanvi. I feel
Yeah, we all were
that
looking at
makes
you.
sense.
Yeah, of course.
I asked, but
Not to
you know.
typecast, but
Not to typecast.
you are the reformed.
Like maybe Manny too, but Manny's like feeling good tonight, right? So
Yeah.
I feel like it
Manny's
could be Tanvi.
confused
Yeah.
more than anything else.
But maybe a good confused.
Tomby, what's the inner monologue going on as you're looking down at the city at all these
October
people? Let's hear Tomby's his like inner edgelord.
Look at them all like ants. No, that is not what she
12. Yeah.
No, I
Oh,
think it
that's
would
so
be, though.
perfect.
That's
Yeah,
what
one of
she
your little
thinks.
pop-up blocks.
That's what she thinks for like a second. And she's like, God, that's so fucking lame. And like kicks a soda can off the roof and it flies and like hits a car and the car alarm goes off. I think what her thoughts are kind of just, this is not too long after all the kind of episodes or things from
Yeah,
last
you
episode.
just got
right?
out of detention.
Okay.
Are you dressed up? Are you not dressed up?
Oh.
It's the issue
wearing
right
school-
after.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is dressed in her superhero costume, which is what she wears in the image that's next to me, which is kind of it has pieces of her old supervillain costume, just the cape is from that like magic kind of look. And the rest of it is just pieces she sort of found, like a jacket that she's thrown over some compression clothes, and is a little more low-key. She's trying to be like, I'm a regular person now. I'm not a villain anymore. I don't have to look like some devious villain anymore. And yeah, her thoughts are just kind of circling around the conversations she had, which start off pretty happy. She's like thinking about her and Rodesi and their little notes that they were passing. I think she has a few of them, so she kind of shifts through them, and she's like, dork, Rodesi, whatever. Like, starts like folding one up into like a little, it looks like she's gonna fold it into something intricate, but it's just like a paper airplane that she makes like a whole bunch of little paper airplanes. And then she starts thinking about that dodgeball game where she went up against Bulwark and, you know, had the confrontation with Manny afterwards. And a part of her is trying to push back the words that she said about how maybe she's just a villain and she just has to be good enough. And then she thinks about how good it felt to throw the rock at Bulwark when she was provoked. And she's like, just very conflicted. She's like, on the one hand, I do like being with my friends and being a hero. On the other hand, it felt good to get that power back. And against someone who was being a jerk to me. She's like, Bulwark was being a jerk and like crushes one of the like paper airplanes. And they deserve that. Just because they're an adult doesn't mean that they don't deserve retaliation when they're provoking me. And just like crushes all the little paper airplanes that are next to her. And then just kind of, yeah, I don't know, she just kind of contemplates things as she looks at, I think she's like looking over like a freeway that's going by, so you just see kind of like all the lights of the cars.
Can I pitch what that looks like on the page to you?
Yeah.
So I think like we get that opening like full page splash that you usually see in comics. That's like the one page of Tanvi's up on the roof, and he's got the like paper airplanes like in one hand. Like we see him from behind with the cape billowing out, and the like our comic is drawn in this like vaporwave style that's like very Outrun sunset color palette, like blues and oranges and stuff. So it's like that perpetual sunset. It's going down the highway. Your cape is flowing in the wind from behind, and then like it's a long stretch panel that's like your face sideways as you're looking down with a thought bubble that goes out and fades into your memories. And so when we get that dialogue, there's little thought like, you know, editorial boxes, text boxes, that like if you read the last issue, which you should have, you see where your dialogue is, but your like editorial boxes of what you wanted to say are like branded over it, and like someone's taken a permanent marker and scrubbed over your old text. So it's like, this is what I should have said. Boom, 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 boom. And like interspersed in there's like the paper airplane is in your hand. It gets more and more intense. You think about we see the like the boulder, and like maybe imagine like smashing it into Bulwark.
Yeah.
And like the paper airplane crushes in your hand. And then the last like big panel of the page is you're like unfolding your crushed fist, and there's the broken paper airplane in it, that we see at the same time as we see like you looking down at the like all the little lights, you know.
Yeah, I like that.
Let's see, you're coming back, you're flying up, you're dodging this litter that Tanvi is scattering about. You've got the fries that you went out to get.
Actually, can I say that I catch all the litter?
No, you who can control gravity and like catch as many objects with your mind powers or your soul powers, or whatever the fuck. No, you can't. No.
I like the
Yeah,
idea
of
that like they like all the things are just kind of orbit, all the
Oh, that's
like
so
crumpled
fun.
paper is just orbiting around me.
Right.
And
Which really brings the question, like somebody on a forum like talks about issue 9, where in which you were picking up trash on the freeway. Why you couldn't just use your powers to like lift it all away? But, you know.
It's the principle.
It's the principle
what
of it.
Rhoda said.
Oh my god!
No,
Yeah,
she's
Boy,
off
I
the
really
clock.
hope somebody got fired for that blunder.
Rhoda would absolutely feel that way though. It's like, hey, no using powers here. This is community service, you know, like this isn't superhero work.
Gotta feel the trash in your
You gotta
hands.
feel.
God.
I think I'm the only one with a power set that would allow me to collect a lot of trash at one time too.
You
So
could
I
do so much with your power set, so much community good, and yet
I can only collect
only thing holding
one
you back.
really big piece of trash at a time.
Yeah. Ooh.
Someone litters a car, you will be there.
Thank goodness. Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, Rhoda flies up. I got like the fries, like, and I just got a whole takeout order. The thing orbiting, the couple people orbiting around me, and I just toss it at Tanvi, and just say, "You know how much I hate people who litter. All right, don't be like that one guy on the freeway. All right. Anyway, here you go." And then I kind of just drop all the stuff over and sit down. And I think you just hear like I'm just like slurping out of a thing. Wait, all right, I'll wait for Rudy to get back real quick. And then I really like it when comics have like the little slurp, like the little sound effect where like when somebody's drinking out of a thing. So I just want to make sure that everybody knows that there is a sound effect bubble.
yeah, it spans multiple panels.
Yeah, it's like no matter how full a takeout drink is, it always makes the same. This thing is practically empty.
Yeah,
sound effect.
There's holes in the straw.
I like hit Tanvi on her shoulder. He goes, "Have you seen anything? Anything good? Anything juicy?"
She just like waits for Rhoda to get closer, and is like, I forget what it's called. She's like punch buggy, and then she like punches you in the arm.
I swear to God.
But like does it because she's like been thinking about like Bulwark and using her powers. I think it comes off like kind of like a pretty hard punch. Like I don't know if it would.
Oh no, I can take it.
Yeah.
I take a powerful blow. I can take it. I feel like Tanvi knows that Rhoda is like invincible, basically. You know what I mean? Like, so I wouldn't imagine that you really hold back too much. I would welcome that dynamic of Tanvi just being like, wham, punch buggy, you know?
Yeah. She's like,
God forbid you give me any birthday punches.
her birthday punches are like trying to make you move like an inch. She's like, one day
Come on.
So
It's 18 this time with a lucky with an extra one for luck.
So we get this like this big sound effect of Danvi slapping Ronosi on the arm. Like Manny, like we get the ripple of the sound effect, like going across a couple panels, and it like travels like a block, and then we see Manny flying. I assume you you all knew about Patrol tonight. Flois, are you like what's the deal? Flois, how are you getting around? Manny, are you carrying Flois? You hear the slap, you hear this like this signature punch between your teammates, and you know which way to go, and like we see you two traveling.
I think I am I'm rooftop hopping with my giant leaps.
You have giant
power.
leaps.
So we just have the sunset and like a silhouette of some buildings, and then we just see the line going like hop 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 between buildings. She's kind of in that like mid leap,
yeah. So what the long panel is like the sunset and the buildings and you hopping and Manny like flying, and then like these white like ripples of the sound effects going and hitting Manny.
Yeah, because he doesn't have superhuman strength yet, so
Mhm.
he can change his shape, but he's not like definitely not strong enough to carry Flois. And I think Flois would anyway would be like not immediately
I'm
not
good, yeah.
averse to being carried for sure.
Right.
I can do this myself. Yeah, Manny's like he's got his arms out as his bat wings. So again, tiny little purple bat boy. And humanoid, the regular face, the kid face.
Yeah, and I think this confirms the chat question from yesterday on if you have wings or if you have wing arms.
Yeah, so he normally has like little human arms with claws, but when he transforms, the arms go like super long and then turn into bat wings. So the only bat thing about him normally is like the big ears and the little snub nose and everything. This is like pretty much right after the last issue, right? So I think then he's still wearing his like messed up hoodie. So it's the charcoal hoodie with the hood up. The holes are cut for the big ears, but it's got like goop all over it, like hair dye and whatever. So he's flying, and then the crunch sends him like spiraling, like a little barrel roll.
Was not prepared for that.
Yeah.
I wanna set something up. This is taking place right after last session. We only sent a message to Floas if we wanted to. That's what we said last session, at least.
Yeah.
So I like the idea
Really
that at
trying
least
to exclude Manny.
not like purposefully, right? But I like the idea that Rodesi is like not prepared for Manny to be there.
Oh,
Well, because we're like we're fighting a little bit. She's like annoyed with Manny, not like mad, but it's
Yeah.
like, well, I mean, you know, maybe we need a day or two to cool.
We had a little snippy snip in the
We had a
cafeteria.
little sniffy snip.
y'all gather.
I think I'm tagging along then.
Yeah.
right.
Like
Yeah,
purposely.
yeah.
Like I think I saw Flois is impossible to miss, going like crunch between buildings. So I think Manny like was at leaving the malt shop or wherever they were with Leela, saw Flois jumping across rooftops and was like, oh, there's a thing I must have forgotten. My phone's all busted up,
that's so
so
rough.
Oh no! Oh, your
my
phone's
phone
all
battery's low.
busted.
I gotta catch up, otherwise they're gonna be mad at me.
Oh no!
Oh yeah, okay, that's
We're the bad guy.
Well,
Because
you
he's the
see a little
little
drama.
he's the little sibling.
He's the little
So-
sibling
Yeah.
in the group.
But also, you set this up. What's the interaction look like? What is?
I go.
Since
So I
you're
guess
the
I
center
see,
focus of this interaction.
I see Flo's come in and I go, "What's good?" And then I see Manny behind and I go, "What's good?"
The text is italicized.
Yeah, it's like very different, but like there's like it's like a normal.
italicized, but it goes big to small.
Yeah, and like the speech bubble is like a little wiggly also. It's like,
Yeah.
hey Manny.
On the other hand, Thanvi is like, hey Flois, and then looks over at Manny is like, oh, what are you doing here, Manny? Manny?
Oh no!
Well, it was patrol, right? I saw Flois. I was gonna go home, and then I my battery died, so I didn't know, I couldn't check my text, and I thought,
Lois is kind of like looking back and forth. I mean, we see her little eye tentacles are like sort of like wiggling in one direction and wiggling in the other. She's kind of like,
Yeah. Oh, okay, good. I was curious because you didn't respond to the text.
Thanvi like narrows her eyes.
Oh my
at you, 'cause
God.
She's just like, in kind of like not a mean way, but just like, what the fuck? Like,
Oh my god. Yeah, this is. I'm setting a very mean precedent for Rosie. I think.
Yeah, wild.
I think, yeah, I don't know. I I don't know. Teen drama. You know, I'm playing into it.
Yep.
I think we see Rosie like take out her phone and go, oh, 1 second, I gotta check this, and then you see her text Manny really quickly. Like,
oh my god.
all right.
Yeah. Well, and Manny doesn't care, like, because Manny is feeling hopeless and insecure right now
Yeah,
from like those last
buddy.
couple interactions. So he's like, yeah, I know, I'm sorry, my battery died. I've been kind of busy. And he's like looking down at his hoodie, like that's covered in like
Oh my
hair dye
God,
and goop, and like he's got like a black eye underneath.
Oh.
Oh shit.
I think for maximum drama purposes, I'm on the other side of you, so I don't see that. But we
Yeah.
see like a big grin goes across Flois's face, and she kind of like playfully shoves you, which I imagine is just sending you like stumbling to the side. And she's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, busy indeed, my
I was
friend.
just gonna ask.
You must tell us of the wonderful encounter you just had. I don't want to pry, but I do want to know every single detail of who this very interesting young lady you were with."
Oh my god.
Can I say because of the way Manny looks and then the way Floss reacts after, I think Thunby just has a really knee-jerk reaction and kind of gets in Flois's face because she's just like, are you like bizarrely happy that it looks like Manny
Right?
got beat up?
Oh yeah, we're all thinking different things.
Right,
Like,
right.
It's like
And I think Thunby definitely has that kind of, only I get to beat up on my little sibling. Like no one else gets to do that. And so yeah, she just shows up in Lois's face and like, what, you think it's funny? And doesn't say anything else that clarifies anything.
That's great. Yeah. And so I kind of like cock my head to the side and I'm like, it seemed fun. It seemed fun, but that's not the same as funny. You're not tricking me with your earth words that mean the same thing anymore. I'm getting better at this.
And then she just kind of, she's like in your face at this moment and is like, he has a black eye. What do you mean fun? What kind of fun did you all get into? Did you guys start a fight or something?
But no, we had, for one thing, his eyes are green, and for another thing,
my
we
God.
had we went to a burger establishment. And I'm like looking over at Manny like, what?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So like Manny's been kind of in shock, like
Yeah.
from the shove. So he's had like a couple little cartoon stars coming out of his head for a second, and then he like shakes his head like a dog, like, yeah. Well, that part was fun, I think. But before, I don't know. There's just some guys, and you know.
No, I don't know. What is this? And I like sort of like I'm like turning away from Tanvi, like, okay, I guess they're still right next to me. I don't really know what's going on here.
Yeah,
and
Yeah, he makes himself really small.
Oh my God.
And there's like kind of that cross hatching drawn in an arc over his forehead that shows the gloom in the comic panel. And he's like, and he does the little like twirly like miserable whisper text speech bubble. That's like it happens a lot. I'm used to it. It's not a big deal.
I think Rothesy like kind of her attitude to you kind of changes a little bit and is all like, "Oh, Manny, no, I thought I told you that if you know you can always call me like just a quick SOS and you don't need to take care of these. You don't need to handle this on yourself, you know, like keep getting shoved in lockers. At school, I can, you know, keep an eye on you, but out on the streets.
And yeah, as soon as you say, I can keep, like, at school, I can keep an eye on you. This is great.
Aw.
He blows up. He goes from small to like big. Like he like kind of hunches forward, and like snarls with his little fangs. And he gets the kind of the deeper beast voice without changing too much. And he's like, I don't need you to baby me, Rhodacy. I can do it myself. And then he like he sees what he just said and like backs up and like turns around and closes himself off. He's still got the bat arms, so he wraps himself up in his bat wings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a really
with
good...
his back turned to you.
Wow.
Notice he like hands up when you like leaned up. Like I think she's very much like, okay, you know, like I kind of like there's like a little whisper, like a whisper speech bubble to Tanvi and Flawless. Like, I've sorry, I've struck a nerve. Y'all might want to. I'll step back. Somebody should maybe comfort them. Somebody else should.
Yeah.
I don't know if that necessarily comforts, but I think she does turn back to the or I don't know if she even really had turned away from the conversation, although she does hear you say that. And I think I just like, no one says you're a baby and you can't handle yourself, Manny. We just want to be able to even the odds. I mean, whenever these people come, they always come in groups. Why wouldn't you deserve to have other people with you too?
Oh.
And she just like, while she's saying that, she's just been kind of like playing with a few rocks, like twirling, and every once in a while like twirling kind of menacingly and then coming back.
I think without giving Manny time to respond, Flo is kind of like not like a sneer, but kind of like a huff, like, well, this is obvious. She says like, well, facing his problems head on by himself is the honorable course of action. Of course that's what Manny's going to do.
Oh no. Let's see.
Yeah.
I kind of
Do it.
Yeah, because I'm now liking the idea that we're kind of arguing about what you should be doing.
Yeah.
And just,
Yep,
like, that's out of the
exactly.
conversation.
Yeah.
So Rosie immediately jumps in again. Manny can't say anything. He goes like, "What are you talking about, Flo?" I was like, what are you? I forgot the name of your species. Actually, I forgot. What
They are Churtons from the planet Churt.
Churtons, like, are Churtons just like you know, dropped in a pit as a baby to fend for themselves, and like, no, like you grow up with others, you learn from others. Like, you shouldn't. That's where, like, how are you supposed to learn to defend yourself if others aren't there to pick you up when you're not strong enough to do it yourself?
Yes, but being by oneself is how one becomes strong. When one goes exploring in the lightning-racked mountains, you can't rely on anyone else to survive.
Yeah, but the back alleys behind a Wendy's isn't exactly the lightning-struck mountains. You know what I mean?
Sounds like both of you are trying to shift Manny's labels.
Yeah, interesting.
Ooh.
Yeah, actually, like both of you are doing
Yeah,
that.
you're both doing it.
That's cool.
I do like that.
So I think what labels are each of you like advocating for? And then Manny, do you reject both? Do you reject one but not the other?
I feel like I'm trying to shift Manny's mundane up, because it's like, you should call for friends. Like, you're not strong enough. You're not, like, maybe not even like all those meetings, but I think it's like, you're like a kid and you're
Right.
being bullied, and you have friends to help you, right? Like, is I think leans to mundane. Well,
Nice, yeah. What are you shifting down?
You shifted down.
Oh,
Probably
I
superior.
shift.
Well, interestingly,
I-
I don't have influence from either of you.
Oh,
Oh,
So
oh
you
yeah,
can
because I
shift
got
one.
rid of
You
your.
can't shift your
influence.
labels. Good,
Yeah.
good.
We can't. Okay.
You cannot. You can only shift
Okay,
labels
okay,
of people who are influence.
Right.
You have influence over.
Mm-hmm,
But something's happening there
Yeah.
for sure. You know, so I think it's mechanically more interesting to have this moment happen So I think as I've landed here and I'm like listening to everything, Manny's like going through his head of like they're these are my teammates, but they're all talking over me.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to figure out who I am if I can't make my own decisions? What am I supposed to do? I want to give influence back to both of you in
Nice.
this moment.
Cool.
Okay.
Maybe we
So
can.
then you can shift. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe to reflect like what that looks like on the page, we can each do a little panel of like what our description means to us.
Yes.
So I think as I'm talking about like this, being alone and exploring, we see a little silhouette of a certain cow alien person, just like tiny in this like huge, sort of like the way that I'm kind of picturing her planet is how sometimes there'll be like, oh, this planet is like a jungle world that's like super dangerous and sort of like our jungle's turned up to 11. This is kind of like if you had like a mountainous sort of like Ireland environment that is turned up to 11. So it's like these beautiful, wide plains of grass and like beautiful gray stone, and just like, but the stone is more like jagged and intense and like lots of ups and downs. And then there's like just this super intense like weather. We see like this rain like pelting down with monsoon force and like a tornado over on the side and stuff. And just this figure is just standing against it like completely unaffected.
Ooh. Okay, yeah. I think like from Odyssey side, it's very much like I don't know exactly how symbolic it is, because I think it's more like an example of like Rodesi's like, we kind of talked in our sessions here that Rodesi has like, Manny gets shoved in lockers, I like rip him out and I'm like, no. Like I like, you fuck off, and so I think it's like kind of an image of like of like somebody like being bullied. Like it is just like a very regular school setting, but then you have like a bunch of like friends, like it's like the same kind of figure, this Manny looking figure, kind of in the back, like with some friends, like with some other figures like in front of them, and it's like clearly like there's lockers behind it, like it's still like a school setting, but I think it's like a but the friends, like the figures in front of them, look very heroic, like look very like protective and stuff like that.
Nice.
Hey, come on.
So Rosie is trying to shift mundane up.
Yeah, and I assume superior feels right, because
Superior. Well, you're trying to say that like don't take it on your own. Don't like sort of put your
which maybe a savior also. No, superior is you are the best.
I feel like you're pushing my freak down.
It could also be freak. I was also
because
you don't have to do this alone. You're not an
you see yourself as powerful,
right?
Oh, I see. Yeah. Then I think freak works also, where it's like, yeah, like it's a classic. It's like you are a kid. You are not a monster. You're not like all powerful. You can. Yeah.
You don't have to do it on your own. Yeah.
You don't have to do it on your own.
Nice.
And so Floas is trying to shift what up and what down?
I would say probably danger up and mundane down. Right. So I'm saying you're powerful, you're able to go out and do things by yourself.
Yeah. And so this is very interesting. I think Manny's like looking between the two of you. So like he's looking the way I'm envisioning the page is like, as you described, it's cut in half. So there's the two halves of like both of you in like giant busts.
Nice.
With your dialogue layered over your respective like your home planet versus like the high school scene, and Manny like kind of looking bewildered in the middle, and I think he kind of like looks between the two of you. He's gonna try and reject Flois's influence in this moment.
Ooh.
I think which is just a flat roll.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
And I'm not. Is there a button for that on this? There is, I think. Reject influence. I have nothing else relevant here. I have influence over Flois, which gives me +1 to any roll that targets that person.
Oh yeah.
Miss. Perfect.
Oh, that's great.
On
Well,
a miss, their words hit you hard. Mark a condition, and the GM adjusts my labels.
Hey, Manny.
And you get, do you get potential for that? I think so.
Yeah, it's a
I
miss.
do
It's
get
still
potential for
still a
rolling a
roll?
miss. I'm gonna mark guilty.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like you
Because,
should have
like,
been stronger.
Manny's like, yeah, I
Oh.
know. I could have beat the crap out of those kids, and I
Right.
didn't.
You could have torn them apart.
There was no reason for me to sort of like let it happen. So
Mhm.
Manny's like, the whole cocktail is like, yeah, and the thought bubble's like, Floss is right. I did let that happen. I'm making myself small when I don't have to be. But Rhodacy's also right because I've been doing this all by myself. So it hits really hard. Like there's like a flashback of like back to the like him being kicked in the circle by the kids, and like there's an inner monologue. It's not even like it's the panel is the frame. The frame is like hazy and hatched. It's like the jagged lines on the edge of the panel to show that it's like a memory. And in his mind, we can see that Manny is suppressing, similar to like what Tanvi was doing with the like rewriting. There's a voice inside Manny's head that's like, do it, change,
Yeah.
break them, destroy them, make them fear you. And it's like in his mind too, there's just like a lot of like no, like I won't, until it's just like a storm that like he can't. It's like the bats. It's like the fucking bats from the
There we
origin
go.
issue, where like he becomes swallowed up by the words inside of him, and all you can see is like one of his little green eyes, and he snaps back his eyes back open with fear. But he is going to accept Rhodacy's
Nice.
words as well. Okay, so if you're shifting my labels,
Right.
Flois is kicking my danger up and my mundane down.
Mhm.
Right? Okay, so my mundane can't go any lower, which means that I mark a condition of the GM's choice,
Okay. Let's see. What do you?
which leaves afraid and angry.
Angry.
Yeah,
It's the easy one.
Love
You just
this.
got angry, so like lean into it.
yeah.
If only you were the Nova, you'd be so strong right
I'd
now.
be I'd be ripped.
And I would love to see like what Manny becoming angry looks like from Tanvi's like perspective, because it's Tanvi's like sort of outside of this
You're
immediate
the
conversation.
observer.
Yeah.
Right.
So what does it look like from Tanvi's perspective on the page?
Oh,
And you know Manny the best.
yeah.
You're
I
probably the
think-
one that like clocks when Manny gets mad before anybody else.
Yeah, I think when what Danvi is kind of seeing is like she hears the like back and forth between Rhodacy, and the scene is just kind of like a big, long, outstretched, just like emptiness between her and just Manny, where like their voices kind of fade out, and she just sees the two of them kind of with a bunch of space, and like because of that building of space, they both look really small. And the thought bubble that kind of just like drifts over her head almost subconsciously is just, it's always harder when you feel like a monster to keep it in than to let it out, and like that kind of just like outstretches between the two of them.
Cool.
Yeah.
Like I think
That's
she
awesome.
even, like I think there's a moment where she even tries to like say it when there's like the conversation of like, oh, you should have just like gone up against them. And she was like, yeah, that would be like the easy route would be to just beat them up because you can. That's easy. I don't know. I think she just has like a moment where it connects that they're a lot more similar than different than she thought they were. Like I think she had this feeling of like, oh, we kind of walk different paths, but this is a moment where she's like, maybe we're fighting the same thing. It just looks different, but it feels the same.
Nice.
Yeah. So then I accept. I love that. I accept Rhodacy's words, which ironically brings my mundane up. So
Order
if I had done
of
them in a
operations
different
very
order, it would have changed it. Brings my mundane up, my freak down. And I want to channel this into this. This is how we're playing some masks, baby. Because I'm going to snowball this into the team move for Manny. So like he just like whips around, and just like is just as close to being a boy as he can be. This little tiny 15-year-old bat mutant. The wings have gone away, and he just like has his hands over his head. He's like grabbing his little ears. They're not little, they're huge. His huge ears, like people grab their hair. You know, he's just like squeezing them super tight, and he's got tears running down his face, and he's yelling. And he's like, I know, all right? I know I can do it myself. You just don't understand. None of you get it. Okay? Everyone's telling me what I'm supposed to do. Rhodacy, you're telling me that I'm supposed to be stronger and working together with people. That's easy for you to say. You've got an entire family behind you. You have years of orbitals that go back. You have your mother, your parents, your father, your grandparents. Whenever things get bad, you can always turn back on them. Flois, you have a whole planet that's looking up to you. You're the spokesperson for your entire species here in Sunset City, on Earth. Tanvi, you used to work with villains. Powerful people who can give you whatever you want, whenever you want. I'm a freak. I'm just a little nobody. I don't even know who my parents are. I've been raised by someone else my entire life. Our mom, Tanvi, that's the only person who's ever stood up for me. How am I supposed to fight together when I've never had anyone to fight with? So I am sharing a vulnerability or a weakness with
Yeah,
the team.
you
Yeah.
are.
Do you think I am losing or gaining humanity?
Oh.
But what is humanity, really?
I think
Shut the fuck up.
I would definitely say gaining, because you're being in touch with your feelings, you're communicating, you're like revealing your true self to others and being vulnerable. That feels very.
That feels very human. I think also like
Yeah.
you're relating like your struggles to like a support system, like to a very specific, like that kind of feels very human, right? Like a monster just kind of is, it grows, but you're like regretting situations.
Yeah. Same for me. I think gaining humanity for sure.
So if everybody says gaining humanity, clear condition and shift mundane up, and any other label down.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm glad we didn't do the other one and have you just instantly get knocked out.
I can take you. Yeah, the team can take me out. It's great. I'm gonna clear.
We have done 0 superhero, and we have destroyed you. Which is what I love.
That's
Lay you
mess.
out.
Yes, man. It is.
Yes, it's good.
Everyone's like, "Oh, it's a superhero game." Like, no, this is teen drama. This is teenage angst, 100%.
Mhm.
I'm gonna clear insecure
Okay.
because everyone is like not backing away. Everyone's being very supportive.
Yeah, like even though
Um,
we're kind of like pushing things on you and fighting, I think there's still you still like kind of get a sense that we care about you, right?
Right. I think it's hopeless actually that he clears. He's definitely still insecure. Doesn't feel like he's completely alone. That's the
Oh.
play. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So I cleared hopeless. Oh, I even because I was insecure, I also had -2 to reject Floas, so I had a 1 on that.
Oh, good.
That's so rough.
Just so good.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that was never mind. That was already calculated. That's okay.
Oh yeah, it does.
Oh, that's nice.
Cool. So clear condition, shift mundane up, and any other label down. This is the most mundane I'll ever have. What goes down here?
Yeah.
What did you got? Oof.
Maybe danger, because you're sort of expressing your humanity and rejecting your monstrousness, or maybe freak.
I think Freak goes down
Yeah.
Yeah, freaking mundane seem to oppose really well.
because he's been the whole thing of that little rant was like, I'm a monster, I'm an outsider, I don't have anyone. Like, no, actually, everyone is like stepping forward and being like, hey, that's not true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What does that look like in the fiction? Because like he's like 100% doing the. I think he's like still like grabbing his ears, and there's a panel. There's at least one panel that hangs where like he's kind of in the middle of the rooftop, and the three of you are kind of like surrounding him. And even though you're like in reality 2 feet away, it's drawn that there's like this giant gap with like forced perspective, like a reverse fisheye.
That's cool.
Who approaches first?
I think Flois might be the first to act, but I don't think she's the first to approach. So we see just a panel of like the empty rooftop, and then we hear like a thud sound effect, and it's her. She's like going down, taking a knee in front of him, and she is taking the guilty condition.
Ooh.
And we see all of her little like sense tendrils have just like drooped like totally flat, like they're almost dead looking. And she says, I'm sorry, my friend. I thought that I understood the weight of your struggles, but clearly I have so much more to learn. And she's like trying to like find a way to express like the level of shame that she's feeling for this, right? And I think like her like hand is like, you know, just like her fingers are like on the roof and sort of like scratch, like even though they're very blunt, they just sort of like put like furrows into it. And she says like, any favor you would ask of me, it's yours. I swear this on my word. And it's like all in bold there, like clearly this is a big cultural thing for her.
It's probably even like in some filigree type font.
Oh yeah.
It's in a different font for sure.
I love that. Like,
It's like in a Celtic medieval font.
Yeah.
I swear this on my word. Like that is.
And
so
the
fucking
readers know that's like binding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My word is my bond would be a great fucking mass move.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Just crack open the little Google Doc right now and draft that up.
Yeah, let's fucking.
That's a custom move if ever I heard it.
Yeah.
Give you a custom move. Oh, I love that. Yeah, how does Manny respond? What does Manny want?
I think because Manny's also still feeling guilty. He's like, whoa, wait, this is not what I wanted. Like, this is not what I meant.
Oh.
Well.
So
Yeah.
It's drawn. The artist like spent a week looking at like Renaissance like knight
Yeah.
knight and lady type paintings, you know, like the one where it's like the woman tying off like a ribbon on the lance. So it's drawn like your vassal, you're like sideways like this, and Manny's very daintily taking your hand, but looking like really like shocked and kind of like uncomfortable, but like there's like a very weak thank you.
That's great. And I think like we get a little shot of like one little sense tendril like sort of curling up, like and then she just like in a little like murmur just to you is like, you don't have to decide on what it is right now though.
Cool.
And she kind of like gives a little like nod, like, are we cool?
Yeah, and there's another nod.
Cool. So she rises up again.
Oh, you already have influence over flows.
I really want I kind of like, you know, this whole thing kind of blew up. Does Tanvi do anything in terms of like comforting his brother or something like that?
Yeah, I think she looks very uncomfortable. Like,
Okay, yeah.
he kind of like looks over at Rodesi and then kind of.
I
like,
want to like, I ask because I want to push you. Like, I want to be like, oh God, you know, like I like physically be like, God.
Yeah, that's perfect because
Yeah.
he's looking over at you like expectantly, like don't make me don't make me do this.
I think I whisper, "You're literally his family." Like pushes it.
Yeah, I think you push her, and there's like a really awkward pose where they're like, oh, like someone who's being like pushed to do a speech and they're terrible at public speaking and they're like, oh, how did I get in this position?
You don't need to do a whole speech. I love that you feel like you need to do a whole speech. It's just
and I think like above her head, like a bunch of different like starts of things to say, especially like after Floa's. Like,
right.
Like there's like
Yeah,
all these different like attempts of like,
I gotta swear an oath. Or...
yeah, like and in different like, I think in like different written forms. So it's like something that their mom would say, and then maybe something that sounds more like Rodesi would say, and like and they're all kind of like crossed out as she like tries to say something.
just like mirrors. Readers will remember that Tanvi's very good at copying script, so I like to think that it's that similar kind of style.
Yeah.
I love that you have an internal editor.
Yeah.
So I think he starts a couple times like just we, and then just kind of takes a big deep breath and just goes over and like plops down next to Manny and kind of just like starts like throwing like a rock back and forth to herself, and then kind of like throws it, like hoping that Manny will catch it, and they'll just play like a little like,
oh my God, you're just gonna play a little kid.
And if Manny doesn't take it, I think he'll like pick it up and just like press it into your hand, like do
it bounces off him at first, and he's like, what the, and then I think there's a moment of recognition. I think we've done this before.
Yeah, yeah. Is there a panel of like you two as kids?
You're very recently a member of the
Mhm.
family.
Oh,
Yeah.
right, 'cause it's not that long
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
I think there's a we got locked out of the house.
Ooh.
That's what it is. And so we're like waiting to get into the house. Because it's like a shared like group home kind of.
Mhm.
But also has like a clinic, so I think it's got like more security on it than it would normally, than like a regular house would. So Manny's like, I told you we can't break in there because like 6 different alarms are going to go off and the police are going to come. I don't need that right now. I know you don't care about the rules, but I do, and I don't want to get yelled at again. I'm not going to be held responsible for it. And maybe you're like, fine, there's got to be something we can do to pass the time.
Yeah, like I think I had like different things, like a rock that I was trying to shape into like I can do it. I know I can just fill up the space in the key lock and I'll do it. And then she drops it onto the ground, and just kind of I think there's like kind of like a little staircase or something, and maybe we're facing each other, and like at first she just kind of like flicks like a little piece of rock kind of near you. It's just like, and maybe like flicks it like kind of closer, and at first it's just to entertain herself. She's just like, how close can I get it to Manny before Manny gets mad at me?
Yeah, and then it gets like really close, and Manny kicks it back to you, and you catch it
Mm-hmm.
with your geokinesis.
And she's just
And
like,
then that's what starts it off. It's like, oh, you want to do that? All right.
yeah,
Flick it back at him,
yeah,
and he like catches it, and is like, okay, it's like that, and we just kind of
yeah,
like pass the time
yeah.
that way. So then it like fades back into the current time of like, yeah, this was like a thing we did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Does Tanvi say anything, or is it just like it's just that?
I think she, like, at first just kind of flicks something, and then just because she can't think of, like, a thing that feels weighty enough to say in this moment. Like, all of her words feel insufficient to make you feel better. She just kind of, like, starts ripping into whatever the ground is and is like, bet you can't catch this, and then like flicks something super fast to just kind of be like, let's just be out of this moment for just a second.
Yeah.
She's like, all right, hot shot. Like, it just keeps kind of doing that as the moment goes on.
This is me jumping on GM things, Kevin. Can I make a suggestion?
Sure. What stopped you before?
Yeah, I guess. Absolutely no. I have no respect for you. That's what this means.
That's known.
It is no.
You didn't have to
Right.
say it out loud. It's rude.
I just I kind of want Rose to be like, hey, not to cut this this very lovely moment, and I really do mean that, but sirens or something like that, you know, like.
No, yeah. Whatever you were gonna say to comfort, I was gonna interrupt it.
Okay, cool. So yeah, interrupted here.
Yeah. So like Rhodacy, like you go in to say something,
Yeah,
and then like we get like the sound effect of a car crash,
perfect.
and you're overlooking, and like you all like turn together and like look down off the edge of the building. We get like a shot of all of you, like you all together, like and looking over. So like as a sign of like you're back together, like some unity, and we get a shot down of the freeway, where it happens to be the freeway from issue 9, where in which you recently destroyed half of it.
Yeah.
Gonna come up
Actually
every single
repaired.
time.
It's got scaffolding back up, and you see a pretty familiar baby blue buggy has crashed into an 18-wheeler, and you see like maybe 8 figures dressed in green jumpsuits running down the freeway.
Oh. Quick, go back a second. I think before I get interrupted, I kind of want the thing that gets interrupted is like, so what about this girl? Like we don't ever actually get to talk about the girl. It's like, so what about this girl? And then crash.
That's where it, like, yeah.
Yeah.
The whole time I was waiting, like, when somebody brings up the girl, that's when.
Yeah. So perfect. We did it. We nailed it. I think Rodesi like jumps to action. Like I think there's like a very cliche superhero pose, like with like on a rooftop, one leg up on the railing, like community service club. Let's go.
Editor's note: workshopping the
Yeah.
And then like sort of to mirror that, like we get a splash page on one side of Rodesi and the team like sort of jumping into action, and then we get a splash page of this other character that we've met before but we didn't get an introduction to. Their green jumpsuit, like it's green with like red accents on like the seams. They're running, it shows them like vaulting over a car and running, and like there's multiple of them. This is multiple. And yeah, they're running down the freeway, and cars are crashing. They've crashed their buggy and like their little bug. They're disturbing traffic once again. Don't have Slurpos this time. Who's doing what? What do you do? Well, let's see. You're the first to jump into action. What are you doing?
I'm gonna go run after. I guess they're all over the place.
Fly after.
Yeah.
I was like, you deign to touch the ground for what?
Vioma
Peter for
touching the
plebeian.
ground.
Has a Vioma touched the ground in a generation?
Oh my
Horrendous. You don't walk, you like hover like a centimeter.
Say their feet
Even
never
what you
touch
make the
the
motion
ground.
of walking, but you're actually
Just like I'm like a centimeter above.
Awful.
Like it is. No,
Oh my
it's training.
gosh.
She's been called out for it, but like it's like no, it's training. You don't understand. Everybody in the family does it. It's like you don't turn off your powers. It's to keep your connection. It's like yeah.
Yoma's really internalized the teachings of Guru Lahima.
Jeez. I think Rodesi is going to probably gonna fly to like the buggy, right? And get like a good like scope of everything, right? Is be like, all right, let's maybe plan this out. Who's the one who's like, I guess within like arm's reach? Like, can I just grab?
You just want to grab somebody. Yeah, that's easy enough. You can grab somebody.
Yeah.
You catch one as like they're mid like Kong vaulting over a Maserati.
Mm-hmm.
You grab them with your powers. You lift them up. They're panicking. He's flailing in the air. He's like, whoa, what the hell? No. You get shit.
Oh my god, do I recognize him?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I got you little piece of shit.
No,
Are
I don't
you
got time for this. No. No, please, God, no.
Oh yeah, what hurry are you in, huh?
You don't know, dude. Go. What am I doing? And then he just fucking zips out of fucking existence.
Oh, he was a duplicate.
Yeah. Suddenly realizes like I don't have to be here.
Oh, that's really good. Oh, wait, I do actually have a move I want to use for this because I think like I like grab him and I go, no, not again, no, and then I just like look over and I try and yell, kind of to all of them. I go like, hey, under like what's it good? How would I put this? Because I want them to like just surrender. I'm like, no, we're not doing this again. It's like you have already felt the great might and force of Orbital, and you will do as I say once again. Get over here, hand yourself in. And I kind of want to trigger my symbol of authority.
Symbol of authority. Okay.
Did we establish
Yeah.
what your symbol of authority is?
Like what the actual
Yeah, like do you have like a chest plate or something that
oh
glows?
yeah. I mean it's kind of just like a black hole icon, right? Where it's like the circle with like the little ring around it and all those things like that. And I think like when I like kind of invoke it, you know what I mean? Like when I like am, you know, being orbital, it like it kind of like radiates out of me a little bit, right? Like it pulses
Or
somehow.
is it pulsing, or is it like you flex gravity so that it pulls light towards you, like the way a black hole does?
Yes, no, that's even better. You're entirely right.
Just see the
forgot
light from a
you're in
street
hero
light, like
costume, too.
whoop.
I am in
Right?
costume,
Because
yeah.
you changed.
I did change, but right, I got ready. I got ready. for this. Yeah, no, this is kind of like in like a full body kind of suit. She doesn't hide her face, so like no mask or anything like that. It's got like the logo, like the black hole logo that I was talking about, but like the bands that are kind of like the event horizon cross over to her arms, and it's kind of like a black suit with some it's so if our color scheme, right, is like Kevin's background color scheme, these are all like the darker colors, right? So
Yeah.
it's like the deep purples, but then accented with the orange and yellows is kind of what it is. So like, you know, her like the boots kind of have like those orange and yellow trim. Her like, you know, her arms and her cuffs have those trims and stuff like that. So that's it's she's got like a dark suit with kind of like some colors where light is almost being like absorbed.
Go ahead and roll with Savior. As like some of these guys are like climbing into the scaffolding, like trying to run away. We get
Ooh,
them
okay.
like some of them turning and looking at you.
Yeah, I got a 10. I got a
You
hit.
got a 10. Okay.
So they choose on a hit they choose one. On a 10 plus, you also take +1 forward against them.
Yes, they are going to attack you at disadvantage.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's about right.
And sort of because you get that, like one of them like pauses, turns around, and pulls out this.
A gun.
Yeah, like a gun, but like it's made of like rebar and pipe and like duct tape, and it's got like this big like center piece. I don't know, the hub of a gun. I don't know if I can know. And
Yeah.
it's like glowing molten hot, and it's like vibrating. And
Oh,
like
okay.
this dude does not look like he really knows how to use this thing.
Right. This dude's power set is that he clones himself, right?
Yeah.
So like strange, like it doesn't look alien, right? It looks like it's very cobbled together, but it definitely
Yeah.
looks crap.
It's like
you know, like
it's like a garage kit, like turned
okay,
to
cool.
11.
Yeah.
Simon, what the hell is attack at disadvantage? Like, was that take a powerful blow at advantage? Like, because there's no like.
No, I mean
attack
he
move, right?
the question is he attacks you
Right.
at a disadvantage. So he's lashing out, but he's not at his full power.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So like
Yeah.
you can make a move as the GM, but whatever it is probably is not like super powerful. Like
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Especially against
Maybe-
someone who
maybe-
is invincible.
Oh,
maybe he
yeah,
fires and
100%.
like blows something up or something nearby.
Right.
Yeah.
I think what it is, like, he fires off like it's like this energy beam, and it's like it's different than energy beam weapons you've seen before.
Mm.
This one, it's like it's got it. It like it doesn't do like the dark side thing where like it like moves at different angles, but like it does have like this wave to it, and like it's uncontrolling. It's, you know what? It's almost like somebody like ray traced the Ghostbusters fucking
The
lightning
proton pack.
effects.
Yeah, that's actually
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
was. As soon as you were describing it, I was thinking about it.
Yeah, and I don't think it hits you or anything, but it does force you to land on the ground.
Mm.
Ooh.
It forces you out of the air.
Yeah, I think like I can kind of flavor that because I'm not afraid of being hit by this thing. So maybe it was like it veered off towards like a civilian, and I like fell down to take the blow. Or something.
Perfect.
You know, I'm like, ah, shit. Ooh, okay, yeah. I'm like, listen here. Do we know his name? So we recognize him, but we don't know his like superhero name, or do we also know who he is now?
Yeah, for in the sort of you say like multiple, but that gets crossed out. Like an editor's note that like legal has informed us we can no longer use this name. Divi-Sean is the new name.
Divi-Sean? Oh, that's even better. Yeah,
So good.
Listen here, Divi-Sean. Like I am. Guns can't stop me. You shot me with bullets. You can shoot me with lasers. Nothing's gonna happen. All right. Just put the toys down, okay?
I think like we get the panel of you saying that, and then it stays on another panel of you saying that, but the gun's like flying at you, and we get a panel of this one running away. And then Floas lands right next to you. Floas, what are you doing in this? And how do you made a great leap into the scene, I assume.
Yeah, that's what I would do. I think I'm going to I'm gonna just do another hop that takes me into the center of mass of as many Divi-Seans as I can get into, and just try and get up in their business.
Easy enough. You get there, like you get like in the middle. They're not stopping for you, but like you get in like sort of the middle of their movement of as a like flock.
Nice. And yeah, I am currently in legendary mode, just as a reminder for everyone, including myself. So I am feeling myself. I'm super badass right now. I can go toe to toe with anybody in the city. So I think that I am gonna, I think as I land, that I'm just gonna like crack the earth and like crater it out to try and like knock them all off their foot. Are we still on the freeway actually?
Yes.
Maybe I shouldn't do that. You can see like we get a panel of that, and then we get a shot of but it's like kind of hazy and cloudy around the edges, and then we get Flois falling
like
through the air, and she's like, wait, no. Okay, no. And then she just her hoof just touches down like dink very daintily onto the ground.
Perfect.
And I just reach over and like grab one of the Divi-Seans by like, did you say they're wearing capes? Are they all wearing capes?
I think they're wearing like jackets that you can.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'll grab one by the jacket and just like swing him to try and just hit as many of them as I can with the one.
Oh, that's dope.
Like
Sure.
bowling pins.
Let's see. Let's look at...
If he's fighting back, that's absolutely directly engaging.
Right, because
Yeah,
there
that's
could
what I was
be
thinking.
other
Yeah, directly
ones
engaging,
that are shooting
because
at
there's
him
a
and such.
chance that you might get hurt.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's roll it. Where's my thing? Sorry, oh no, I just closed the window I need. Oh god.
Ah.
Here we go. Rolling. Ha.
Ooh.
And
Yeah.
I got a 12. Heck yeah.
Oh,
Awesome.
Wow. Okay. On a 10 plus, pick two of the options.
Okay, I'm gonna say impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition, and let's create an opportunity for my allies, I think.
What does it look like?
So I think that looks like just these guys are getting scattered like bowling pins. We get like a little sound effect of a bunch of A's going around in a circle from the one who I'm swinging, and just like, you know, many of them are off their feet and falling around, and you know, maybe a couple of them are shooting their little rays at her, and she is just not reacting at all as it just like singes across her fur.
And then, so how does that create an opportunity for your allies, you think?
I think it's in that they're not going to be responding effectively to whatever happens next, because they're all sort of picking themselves up and reorganizing.
Yeah, they're surprised here by you suddenly whacking a bunch of them. Some of them like poof into nothingness again.
Mm-hmm.
Danvi, or Manny, you have an idea?
No, so you trade blows as well on a hit.
Right.
Which means
So it's
that
Oh, you do.
you, because you didn't choose to resist or avoid their blows,
Mhm.
Flois has to mark a condition or take a powerful blow, depending on what the fiction of the scenario is.
right.
So
I think-
Kevin.
I think probably take a powerful blow as like another one comes up behind you and like tries to knee you in the back of the head. Like a couple of the ones that you weren't able to swing at, like start piling on you and just like sort of they jump you and like start
Nice.
going at you.
Cool.
They just
All right.
pile up on your back.
Yeah, there's like
Oh, you're being
5 or
swarmed,
6 of
yeah.
them.
Yeah,
like-
Nice.
because like you
That's
knock a bunch down, but like probably the effect is like the one you swung. As you knocked a couple down, you keep swinging, and like a bunch come out of this one, and
Oh,
then those
cool.
ones
Oh.
come out and then jump back on you.
That's great.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
So let's roll.
Roll plus conditions mark.
Yeah, which is +1. Where's
And this is a move that you want to roll low on.
right. Is there a thing I can click to roll the?
Yeah, if you go to the conditions tab, there's a die next to conditions in the top
There we
right.
go. Thank you.
Oh.
How? Okay. So that's an 8. All right. So I do have to do something.
On a 7 to 9, choose one of the list.
All right. I'm going to choose. I'm going to lash out verbally and provoke a teammate to foolhardy action. Because I think I'm annoyed that they're hitting me
Right.
in the back. And so I'm just
The
kind
two
of
of
like,
us are like flying very slowly.
yeah,
We
yeah,
don't
I'm
move
kind
as
of like,
fast as you do.
I'm kind of like,
You're like taking care of civilians that are like in the way of danger and stuff.
shrugging one off, and I yell out, Tanvi, show them what you can do. Make them fear us.
Cool. Yeah.
So
So
you then provoke.
Right. I roll a provoke.
Oh.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's do it. So get that ready.
do I
Go ahead and
actually
roll with
get
a superior.
Oh boy, I'm great at superior.
Sorry, what was that?
Oh no, I was just saying, do I get provoked?
Oh yeah.
All right, that is a miss.
Uh-oh.
That kind of
Well, you
works
mark
out
potential.
with.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's
Works
good.
out with the narrative I was going with.
Yeah. Very, very
Um,
reasonable.
Yes, if it's okay if I go next.
Yeah.
Well, there's two other things that happen.
Oh,
One
yeah.
is Kevin makes a move as a result of the miss.
I was gonna roll
And
the move into
also-
like Tanvi's action kind of.
Kevin also makes a move for Divi-Sean
Mhm.
because whenever a villain marks a condition, because you traded blows, he marks a condition and then
Yep.
immediately gets to make a condition move. So if you've never played Masks before, all villains get to like make a response
Mhm.
based on whatever condition they mark. So like if they mark afraid, for example, they might choose to hide out of harm's way. Or if they mark angry, they might vent through unthinking violence or whatever. So like, oh, I want to make sure that doesn't get lost in the shuffle
Mhm.
before
Yeah, it's really easy
you
to forget that one.
respond.
Yeah.
to
Go
whatever
for
you're
it.
doing.
It's, just review GMs real quick.
This is the most common reason that fights in Masks will get weird and unbalanced because literally everyone who plays Masks forgets to do this all the time.
Yeah, chance all.
And so then when you have 5 players ganging up on one villain, you're like, man, the villain sure never gets to do anything.
Anything.
Just because you forget to have them do their cool retaliation
Their
thing.
reactions.
I think what it is, sort of in between panels, we get like we see this moment like of them piling on you, and then we get like sort of it pulls out, and it's like a newscast from the perspective, and then somebody's like watching it on TV, and like sort of we get these like this flash of sparks, and we see somebody at like a like sort of what do they call it, like a craft table, like sort of engineering something, and then like sparks are flying, and then they look up, sort of deep sigh. All right, pack everything up, and then sort of grabs the remote, turns off the TV,
Cool.
Okay.
and then it cuts, like, as the TV cuts off, we get where did I write down? What was it? All of the multiples are just gonna disappear.
Oh,
Cool.
Yeah.
They all pop out, and then, like, far in frame, like way down, like really far, like it take an extreme effort to get to them. You see one multiple like running all the way down.
Jesus Christ.
Cool. Nice. So I've just finished going like, show them what you can do, and they're all pop, and I'm like, what? Huh? Huh? I'm like looking under a car.
Yeah. You just. That's really good.
Lift them up.
Oh my god, yeah. And then how does Tanvi react? Because you're like, you don't tell me what.
Because you got all hyped up, and now all your targets are gone.
Yeah. I think she kind of lands what her move was going to be was to try to like guide the traffic around what was going on. But I think, do we still sort of see that last Divi-Sean like
Yes.
way off in the distance?
Yes.
Okay, so she like starts trying to do what she was going to do, which was have a bunch of walls of rock go up around the freeway, like kind of going up on both sides of it. And she started crafting like a wall to like pivot people off into an exit like before this spot, and then
You're
she
making
sees
an
them-
off ramp.
Yeah, but like before she like sees them all disappear, and she's like, and that immediately disappears, but the ones that are on the sides of the freeway keep going up. And instead she kind of just diverts everyone that's still in the area down before, like, so that we can clear off the freeway for us to just chase after this Divi-Sean. And the point of having the big walls on the side is that she's creating kind of like an acoustic thing. Like she starts filling grooves into that rock so that she can whisper something where she is that directs people to get off the freeway. She's like, she just kind of goes to the side and puts on like as an authoritative voice as possible, and is gonna say, there is an emergency at the far end of this freeway. We need everyone to exit off, and we're going to build this off ramp. And she just starts quickly like constructing another pathway to like get people off of the off ramp, and the sound of it bounces around to like all the cars so they can hear her like from miles on both ends to kind of just, we're just directing you all off the freeway so that the freeway is clear for us, because she's remembering being on this freeway before, and last time she fucked it up.
Sounds like you're trying to unleash your powers.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was defend or unleash. Okay.
Sounds like you're unleashing your powers since you're
Because
more
you're not protecting
reshaping
the
the environment.
the people from a threat.
Their immediate threat is gone. Yeah.
Right.
But you're like pushing your powers too.
Go ahead and roll
Yeah.
plus freak.
Ooh,
Especially because we haven't seen this like tremor speech before, which is super cool.
yeah. Where is? Oh, there it is. Unleash powers. I just have to click on the little.
You just
dice
click the die next to freak. Yep.
Cool. Submit. Oh, hit.
Nice.
Thank goodness,
Those are
'cause my
free.
freak is
On hit, you do
just
it.
a one.
So you
Ooh.
make this off ramp and you get everybody off, like sort of starting to drive off, and like everybody's cooperating. I think we do see like one van like pulls off, and it's got like it's got a number 4 on the side in a big square, and then a woman pulls out. She's wearing an orange like sort of an orange bomber jacket, and like she sets up her own camera, and like she just pulls out a microphone, and like she might be propping up in front of Rodasi as Rodasi's helping people.
Nice.
Nancy Naranga is like starting to report on the scene.
Yes. Oh my god. Real quick, because it might matter for that. It looks like Rue got a 9. So I
It's the
think
market condition or the
Oh,
GM
was it-
tells you how it's unstable or temporary.
Ooh, you lied to me. You told me you got a hit.
I said hit.
It is a hit.
it doesn't
A
say
7 to 9,
full
Yeah,
It is
hit.
7
a
to
hit.
9 is a hit.
Yeah.
A 10 plus is a hit with no consequence.
Okay.
Marking condition. Let's see what conditions
Yeah.
he has.
Oopsie.
And it's Rue's choice whether
Yeah.
she wants to either mark a condition or that it's unstable or temporary. Since we are
Ooh.
teen heroes, and especially using your powers for like a great big, very sculpted
I
thing like that
see.
is hard to do. You might
To
be
maintain.
eroding, or it might do that sort of thing. Yeah.
That's why the adult version of the move is wield your powers.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Game design.
So would you like a condition, or would you like this effect to be unstable or temporary?
I think I'll take a condition.
That
think you're gonna
seems
take-
good. That would
think-
be real.
Because she.
Yeah, what do you want to mark as a result of that?
I was looking at insecure actually.
Yeah, I was thinking
because-
insecure based on what you were describing.
Yeah, and just like because this is so similar to the last time we were in this and how that turned out so badly and caused so much damage. This is her like attempting to do like a do-over and is like, no, this is gonna work and people are not going to get hurt as we do this. I'm clearing a path so that everyone else can. I think that the insecurity comes in that she's like, I'm not gonna chase after this person right now because when I use my powers in that way, it messed everything up. So I'm gonna use my powers to get people like safely away and get the citizens away. That seems to be a better use of what I'm doing.
Gotcha. So you're in the air, like sort of doing this, directing traffic. Floas, you're working on that. Manny, you didn't get the chance to interact with that. Is there anything you want to do in this moment? Like, as you
Yeah,
still
I
have like
think,
this perspective from above.
He was like still feeling really rattled by everything, so he was like the last person to kind of take off and
Mhm.
like fly around. So he's been like circling, seeing Divi-Sean run away. I think he calls down like, "We don't have to chase after him. We can hunt smarter." I have an idea, and his eyes get really big, and like red film slits over them, and he activates infravision
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
because I have transmuting flesh.
Sure.
So he wants to track Divi-Sean's footprints by their heat that were left behind on the freeway.
Gotcha. And that's not a playbook move you're using, right?
No,
Okay.
I think I'm just trying to unleash my powers.
Yeah, that's what was good.
To follow them.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and roll plus freak.
I just love he gets infravision because of mutable flesh, and I'm like, yeah, why not?
It's comic books, baby.
I love it. That's what I mean.
Because I could
It's
have
like-
done like a sonar screeching, but I'm like, that doesn't
No.
make sense. He's not invisible, right?
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, that's a miss. So you
Ooh.
make a move as you see fit.
Can
It
I
could
make a
be-
suggestion?
Mhm.
If it is heat thing, we are on a freeway with a bunch of cars currently running, so maybe
Yeah.
you get you get blinded or something because you weren't expecting just the emissions, like the car emissions, to be as hot as the footprints or something like that.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah, you're
And,
not
yeah,
able to s-
and we're in SoCal.
exactly. Yeah.
Right.
And I think as we like sort of you're distracted by like the heat of the emissions of like the smog and the smog that makes this this beautiful sunset of the city. And sort of we cut into one of those cars where we have a bunch of guys, like they're all like definitely masked people, and they're all like sort of pulling hats down. They're doing like the bullshit Captain America like I'm in disguise thing. Like, they just have jackets and like hats on, and they pull them down, and they're pulling off, and like sort of one of them like sort of jerks. It's like sort of goes for the door to jump out. And they're like another one like sort of grabs the hand on the door. Is like no, we'll get him. No, hey, just relax. And then like sort of actually they're just gonna steal Manny's words. Like we can be smart about this.
Yeah.
We don't gotta be loud.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's good. Turn my move back against me. That's good.
Yeah.
Which is a great GM move. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Manny, like, and this is new for him too, because he's like, I've got an idea. Like, let me try it. And then he gets the vision, looks down, and it's just like a riot of color.
Yeah, it's all oranges
It's
and
like
reds.
It's like Predator vision, but awful.
Oh, that's so good.
And I think his eyes are in the middle of this like panel of just swirling reds and yellows with like an occasional spot of blue. And he like kind of tilts and veers sideways in midair because he's so stunned by it. And I think he like instead like lands and is wiping his eyes. And he's like, it's no good. He's gone.
I think that's where the middle of the comic book breaks for a in-page ad for Sour Patch Kids. I don't know, that's like the last ad I saw.
Is there a?
It's very.
Oh my god! What is the fucking? Who is the in a PWN? Who's the jerky, the snack? There's a meat.
Ron
Oh.
Steerling, Jemison's
Yeah.
meat.
Yeah, there you go.
Jemison's meat. It's what I eat.
Thank you so much for joining us for the first half of our of issue 12. We will be back in 5 to 10 minutes. Be right back. See you soon. More transition words. Welcome back, everybody. Issue 12.5. Paint it redder.
Imagine if comic books had like mid-issue title cards like that.
Varsity Hues. Varsity Hues.
Shit.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh my fucking god!
Didn't we do that? No, we did that on Blood.
That was on
That's
Bloody
what-
Badlands.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it all blends.
I'll make a
Full
blood.
Metal Alchemist. Full Metal Alchemist.
The second Varsity Hues has like higher saturation.
Right. Yeah.
Oh my god.
We cut back. Y'all have tamed traffic. You've tamed the natural phenomena of traffic in California.
That
A
seems
nigh impossible
like a
feat.
feat.
Especially in some sort of Southern California location. Yeah. Jeez.
Y'all are making it on the news.
So
Y'all,
that's good.
Oh yeah, Nancy Naran is here.
Yeah.
right?
yeah, Nancy Naranja on the scene, reporting in.
friend? She our friend?
She's a reporter.
Oh, okay.
We established a reporter in our
June
when the team
Jimenez.
came together.
Yep.
Who we
So this is
impressed.
not our friend.
No, this is
our
not.
friend, the reporter.
This is
Oh,
not
right,
the reporter that we
June.
impressed.
Right.
So are any of us gonna go after the tiny retreating form of the villain while
Yeah.
Oh, it's 100%. Orbital is going to be like, yo, he's getting away. All right, you, good job. Good job. What are we calling Tanvi? Tremor, right?
Tremor.
Yeah, just
You're-
because we were.
Velocity's name is publicly known, right? You're on public record as like sort of your face and everything.
Yeah.
Because you're not like Orbital, like technically, so I wasn't sure.
No,
where
yeah,
you-
yeah. I call myself Orbital, and I
Right.
feel like the public will probably refer to me as an Orbital of some sort, but
Right.
especially when they're trying to kind of.
Rodolfo Vioma on the scene, causing a scene once again. Folks, may you remember this the previous weeks on the same patch of freeway, the scene that they had caused. millions of dollars in repairs. Sort of tilts camera over to the scaffolding. And before that, the destruction of Elliott Technical Institute.
Oh my god.
And sort of like continues with his news report as you're in the background.
I hate that. I think what you see. Oh, this is the perfect thing then. Is you see the panel is of the news report, right? And you see Rodesi kind of around. You see her kind of gesturing around. There's speech bubbles, but like you don't actually see what she's saying. And then just like a moment of like kind of like getting ready, and then she just like zips ahead, right? Like just like super flight speed, you know. And I want to try and just catch this guy
fleeing the scene.
God.
Yeah.
It's like the last like trailing.
Yeah. Because you were like, he's impossibly far away, and Rodesi's like, I can fucking catch him.
Yeah, I can fly.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to like
cosmic level power.
You're gonna have to push your speed, like to get this distance to
for sure.
safely
this actually
anyway.
Feels like a like I'm
unleashing
my
powers.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Using it much more than I normally would. I have a 0 and freak, so let's see what happens.
Good luck.
Ooh.
Well, you mark potential.
I mark potential. That's fun.
For the folks at home not able to see the roll 20.
Oh right, sorry.
Also
I
me,
got
who was
a
not looking at
miss.
You rolled a 5.
I got a miss.
Is it a hard miss or is it like a is it like a bullshit hit?
No,
like
it's a
before?
hard miss. Is it a bullshit?
I don't know. Apparently, I have to ask for numbers.
Well, you make a move at the very least.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanna. I'm trying to clear my insecure condition.
Mhm.
By just like basically fleeing, right? I'm like, no, I'm gonna take care of this, y'all. Like,
Yeah,
right.
I have not like talked to the team at all. I basically am just like, no, he's getting away. Looks around, everybody's kind of dealing with some stuff, and I just go,
Manny just told you like he's gone. I can't sense him or anything like
Right.
that.
What are the details of your like self propulsion? Like on the wiki, how's it described? Like your power set?
Ooh, it's like slingshotting, right?
Okay. So it's like an inertia thing. It's not like you
It's like
have.
an inertia.
It's not like you're magnetoing it, or like you're pushing your boots.
No,
Right,
I think
okay.
it is. Yeah, it's definitely like inertia.
Are you kind of, I'm imagining if you're trying to go extra super fast, you might be like, I'm creating like a gravity point, and then I'm like spiraling myself around it like a corkscrew motion.
I
So,
like that a lot more.
That's
as like we see you flying off, like it's not even like focusing on you. It's like you going up and like out in like a wide frame. We get like a frame of Divi-Sean like sort of just like going into a convenience store, like sort of like like slamming himself on the door, just like letting out a breath of like relief, walking over to the slurpo machine, pouring like going down the line, just taking a long slurp, goes and pays for the thing. All right. All right. One more hour and I'm free. All right. And then you just crash into this fucking convenience store.
Yeah, 100%.
And then like you crash into it, but like we get the scene from the front of the inside of the store like imploded on itself. And then like there's just this long trail of destruction, this long like cut in the road as you like pull up asphalt behind you.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna blame Danvi for this because like this is Danvi's like MO, but
yeah. Oh my fucking god.
we just get like a shot of the convenience store clerk like holding the receipt she was about to hand to Divi-Sean. It's like wide eyes, traumatized.
So you start corkscrewing and like off like a shot. Nancy Naranja goes, Vioma fleeing the scene. And so like interspersed is like a moment where Manny like like hears this and is like, no, I'm gonna say something. And so like storms over and like just like gets in her face and starts jamming his little bat finger in the camera. So it's like the shot is him kind of in black and white with a little red frame with a recording icon in front of it, as he's like yelling at the camera like, oh, that's not fair. Voleti is one of the hardest working people I know. She started the community service club to try and do some good because you know what? People aren't doing anything. Cut to like you spiraling through the highway.
Yeah.
She's because she believes that, like the rest of us, the older generations are just sitting on their heels. They're not taking action, and she works so hard to make sure that she does the right thing at all times. Boom! Explodes through the.
In the distance, we just see like the mushroom cloud of this
Oh
computer.
my god.
Nancy's like really pleased, like she was gonna lay into you, do like the reporter thing to make you admit fault on your own on the news, but like she didn't have to.
Oh my god.
Oh
what a
god, yeah,
pure
like
nightmare.
you go crashing through, and there's the moment of like everyone like in the standoff of like, what do we do in the rubble?
Mhm.
Like Manny looking over his shoulder like, oh god. It's just like the explosion coming from down the highway.
Yeah. Can I get a reminder of so I got the insecure tag because of the news report, I'm pretty sure it was, right? It was like, or it's like this whole like culmination of like, I don't feel like I am respected for things.
Yeah, it was a news report about the selected successor to the orbital title being on the news at lunch.
And I think Rodesy like is like in the rubble, very mad. Like her entire demeanor is very different, and is all like is like, I said that you are going to I said that you were going to turn yourself in. I'm orbital, god damn it. And when I say to do something, and then I like grab him, I say, you goddamn do it. Like I'm just like really fucking mad.
Is there like the the juice and like spilled stuff is like orbiting around you?
Oh, 100%.
Yes!
I think it's like all of this debris and shit, and like the Slurpee like falls out of his hand. Like we see the panel of me grabbing him, like the Slurpee falls, and then the big panel of like the full page panel of me grabbing him in this rubble convenience store is that it's orbiting me, and like chips and various debris and all this shit is just like
Jamison's meat sticks.
yeah. Is like
Bag of
I'm
Sour
just like,
Patch
you
Kids, right.
goddamn. Can I mark a condition?
Yeah.
Can I mark
That sounds like
angry?
you're angry.
Yeah.
I love that you can just mark conditions in this game. It's so good.
I've gone from insecure to very angry. Yeah, I think like that's just it. Like I grab him. I don't know, what is he?
He is in shock and like sort of like looking at you, and he's like terrified. And he says, I didn't do anything.
Oh yeah?
They're chasing me.
Oh yeah? Like I think
he's not wrong.
No, that's the thing is I think it's like oh yeah, like really mad, like oh yeah, you didn't do anything, and it's like he's chasing me, and oh yeah, say more, like kind of like gets the demeanor back, say more.
He's about to say something, and then we cut over. Danvi, Flois, what's happening with y'all?
Good
Manny's
question.
Manny's conducting this interview. Manny's got an exclusive with Channel 4.
Yeah. I think I probably would like be like looking over at the news, and I'm like, and then I just like hop off and start following after Rodasi after the explosion goes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that I might be needed.
I like that. I like
Danvi?
that.
Trying to think what she. I think maybe she comes up to the news, like interview thing also, especially because she was like, we were doing this in a better way. She's like looking back at this like directing traffic thing, and she's like, we did this better, and we're getting the same treatment. And so she. To think what she comes up with. I feel like she wants to kind of turn the attention on herself, because she's like, it makes more sense. She knows how much like Voleti like protects her image, and she can take the heat a little bit more as someone that's like a former villain, and the damage is something similar to what she would do. So I think she kind of like pulls up. I'm trying to think how she would like turn this around, because it's clearly like she's here and not doing stuff over there.
Would you take the blame for like ripping up the highway?
Yeah, like because you don't need to be at the convenience store. You can deal with the camera crew, right? Like,
yeah. Yeah, I think she kind of like comes up. She's like walking calmly, and then she just kind of like starts like hyping herself up to like come up really as like angrily as she can like show. And she's like kind of like picking up off of what Manny was saying. Like, yeah, you know what? Sunset City doesn't do enough for the citizens. All these criminals are running through these freeways. We're doing something good for you all, and you're blaming us? Yeah, maybe I did rip up this freeway, and like she kind of sends a few things off so that it looks a little bit more like she did it. But we're the ones who are actually doing something. At least we're trying to catch these villains. What's the city doing? Nothing, sitting on their hands. The actual orbital is nowhere to be seen. At least our orbital is out here doing something.
No!
That's my girl.
It sounds like you're trying to provoke them into like sort of shifting blame.
Yeah.
Right? So let's go ahead and have you roll plus provoke. I think Nancy is susceptible to your words because you're on camera. Like you're live right now. So like she can't like kind of cut away from you. That would like sort of give you the platform, like the last word.
Yeah, she can ignore a tiny little bat boy, but she can't ignore both of us at the same time.
Right.
Yeah.
So like, go ahead and roll plus superior.
Okay, gotcha.
What you're trying to do is like trying to shift blame here.
Mm-hmm. See if it works.
It sounded like you said you wanted to shift blame to yourself, but it sounded like your reasoning was like shifting blame towards like the city.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Or like kind of trying to defend why we were doing it. It is a miss. I hit
It
a
is
5.
a miss. We're doing
which
great.
makes sense because I am still guilty. So
That's great.
gave
Mark
me
of
a -2.
potential.
I love this.
Power leveling this session.
I'm just yelling indiscriminately at people. Just like, this school gave me detention, so I couldn't even do my community. I'm just like going off on like all these
It's getting
tangents.
kind of unrelated.
And another thing.
I'm like grabbing the
outfits-
camera to like pull it back to me.
Let's just say the outfits are also kind of gaudy. Like, you know, like what is it? Like you're just now. Like,
Yeah, like it sounded like something that could have like gotten the audience like, yeah, why isn't anyone responding to this? And then it's like, oh, what? Why is she talking about her high school?
Talk about dodgeball.
Or Seni Vioma and the Sentinels, the Sunset City Sentinels, didn't they just get called to fight an interdimensional threat? Isn't that where they are right now? And if I recall correctly, I might need to check back with our fax team. Wasn't Rodasi told specifically not to patrol and conduct superhero activities after several incidents having caused public destruction? Any comment on that? And
Oh
like
my-
sort of we cut back to sort of Floas, like you land and like you see this convenience store is trashed. It's gone. This kid is still standing with like the receipt out,
Yeah.
just like kind of just gone.
Ooh.
Nice.
Does not get paid enough for this. Wasn't supposed to
Yeah.
come into work today. Velocity's holding up the one division, and Vision's like, "What are you, a fucking cop? Like, I don't have to say anything to you. I didn't do anything."
My God. I think Rodesty like kind of it doesn't. I think like maybe like doesn't like is too caught up in it, right? So like doesn't
Right.
really recognize that Felicity there is like. No, you did something. You shot a dangerous gun at us. You started causing mayhem in the freeway. This is not the first time you've done this either. All right. What is this, like a whole like you're in a whole getup too? I mean, come on, this is villain behavior. All
You're in a
right?
getup. You just trashed the fucking freeway again.
You can't be-
I am running out of self-preservation for my life.
Uh-huh.
And I think I come up as that's happening, and I say, like, running from who? You couldn't have been running from us. We saw you first.
He gets like a really spiteful look. Like, you wouldn't know. Like, all of you heroes, you don't have to deal with any of this. You don't have to deal with these fucking wackadoos chasing you down with these rifles, just hunting down people.
What? I feel like. Oh no! I think I'm gonna play into this. He's still angry. If Flos, you want to be the one who's like, no, this
sure.
guy's actually saying some shit that we should be listening to.
Uh-huh.
Is all like, yeah, you should like. Yeah, I bet you always feel like you're being hunted down, huh? That's what happens when you're a criminal. That's what happens when you like deal with this shit. Orbital's always on your back, you know,
Yeah.
like.
And I
like,
think while that's happening, I reach up to take Divi-Sean's free hand, and I sort of tug on it in a like, here, make another one of you so I can talk to that one.
Oh my god! That's really fucking good.
It's so good. Yeah, Divi-Sean does what he do in Device.
Pop. And I sort of like, yeah. So they're sort of like, you know, standing facing in two directions to talk with the two of us.
In the background, like the one that going at Rodasi's just like yelling, like, "You don't fucking know."
You don't fucking
Like-
know. Yeah, we are just having a very unproductive conversation
Yeah.
right now.
And I think because he's saying you don't have to deal with this. I sort of like give him like a little like poke in the chest with one of my big fingers and say like, are you implying that I cannot deal with some threat? I can deal with any threat in this city. Show me who these gun wielding cowards are.
They don't have like, I don't know their names and addresses. They just come after us, man. They just like,
I'm having problems with Earth language again. What is us? Is this the inclusive, like all people with superhuman abilities, or
like poor powered kids living on the street?
I haven't heard of this.
Well, on Earth, we live in the United States. We live in a system called
In a
capitalism,
society.
and within capitalism, there are tiers in which you're.
Oh my
And then it cuts back to like Rodasi's.
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Divi-Sean.
just so-
Tell
I think it's
me.
yeah, it's like, and you don't know what it's like. All right, you think you're being chased. I have to deal with the. Like, you know what it's like to have your parents breathe under your back. You know, like I have a goddamn sister who you don't even
I
understand.
wouldn't know. I haven't seen my parents in 10 years.
Oh well, wouldn't that be nice? Like I'm just saying horrible. You know, like
Be nice.
No, I know it's awful.
My
Wouldn't that be
wrestling
nice?
tent.
Wouldn't
This
it be
is
so
fucking
nice to live in a fucking
Chris
ivory tower?
Statlander. and Layla Hirsch all over again.
I think that's
There's a reason your parents put you up for adoption.
Oh my god! I think Rose is probably always like, oh yeah, well my mom got lost in a black hole. You know, like,
So I got you beat.
My mom went out for cigarettes.
well,
Great.
which one's worse, really? You know,
You're like, well, that's cliche.
can we say this? Like, it's like we're kind of slowly connecting, but yelling at each other. Like,
Yeah,
like,
no,
like,
like, I was
that
trying to be
really
like,
fucking
they really
sucks.
feel something. Like, no, I live out here. You're up there in your ivory towers, and we're like living day to day, trying to like. Everybody wants us to get money. Everybody needs us to get money, even though we don't have to. We can't get jobs. We don't have street addresses. And then these guys with their fucking guns are chasing us down in their fucking pickup trucks, trying to get their fucking jollies off, hunting down powered kids.
We cut back to Floa.
Yeah.
She's like sitting on the ground with her legs crossed. Her tail is sort of like making a little path in the debris on the ground. She says like, and they reject the job application simply based on your name. They don't even read it.
We keep cutting
Man,
back.
my
and
name's not
forth between-
Sean. You think my name is fucking Sean? No. It's Sung. But no, nobody wants to fucking pronounce that. Nobody wants to learn the glottal but fucking so like, and you can't translate that onto a job.
Tell me about it. No one could pronounce my name.
Oh my god! And then it cuts back to another scene, and Sean like, it's like, wait, so you're like being hunted down? Like that's really fucked up, man. I mean, like I have to deal with. I'm constantly in the public eye, so it's like like very public hunt down if you think about it.
Oh, so
but you're,
sad
like,
being hunted down by paparazzi. Oh.
But like you got people with guns after you. Like, that's kind of fucked up,
Man, you think I fucking made that thing? No, I took it out off one of them.
Yeah, that doesn't really look like your work, actually. Like you kind of seem like an idiot, to be honest.
Manny, Tanvi, I assume you show up.
Yeah, I like this scene. This scene should just keep going.
Then he swoops and lands. He's like, let me at him.
I think
And
like
then we get
time
a
is
third division.
Wait. It's like, well, because
So
the
it
two
just
of you can't
pelts.
get there. The two of you can't get there in time. So can we? I want to pitch like a small time cut where it's the four of us, slushies in hand, going like, so you're. Well, hold up. Like we have gone down.
Right.
Yeah, like that's like you're being hunted. That's kind of messed up. Jump panel, still surrounded by the debris. The sun has gone down.
Yeah, like
We're
time has
illuminated by
changed.
street lights. We're sipping Slurpees, and there's an editor's note that says, "Sometime later." ...
Cashier is still just holding a receipt out.
Yeah, completely catatonic.
Yeah.
Question is there one division now or four in front of each of
Like
us?
there should be 4.
But yeah, there's he hasn't merged back together. It's still two
No.
different.
No, there's two like holding a lecture on like society and like what current events, and then 2 more, like one's eating a hot dog, one's got nachos.
It's like like this. It's like we learn like it's like no man, I got it. I'll get it for you. Like it's on my family's card. Like I get it. Superpowers
Oh,
takes
so
a lot
nice
of
to have just
calories.
a company account, huh?
Oh my god, I'm trying to do something nice for you.
You're
Okay,
like,
your
"You
power
take
takes a
your
lot
hot
of
dog."
calories. I get it. You think manipulating gravity doesn't take a bunch of calories? Give me some of that. Like,
Meanwhile, Thanvi is with the ones that are lecturing that she's like, yeah, and then we should fuck this shit up. And then it's just like looking at all these like public things. Look at this government building. What do they need? What's in there? What have we? It's just like going off on us.
You're
Oh
gonna
my God.
re-villainize them.
oh my
Manny's
fucking
with
God.
the
Yeah.
Voleti and Sean's. Like, none of you understand what it's like to have a metabolism that changes every time you.
It's like, we're just
shoving like 3 different hot
Just
dogs.
so
in
many
his
hot
mouth.
dogs.
Imagine
what
having
am I-
that metabolism and also being like having chips out to like 3 different loan sharks just to feed yourself and then feed your siblings, and like, man, it's you caught me last time. Like that's That was cool. That was on me. But this time, like, nah, dude, I didn't do shit. I'm just running, and you fucking come down here. I'm orbital. Stop in the name of the law.
Hey, I never said that.
So who are
but-
these guys chasing you anyway?
Yeah, you never said that.
There's just like some freaks who've got like they all wear like these red dots, like these little red like buttons or whatever. And, like that's how they know each other or some fucking shit, I guess. I don't know. 'Cause
Okay,
they
and they're
You're
fucking-
a very angry person. Manny says.
Guess they couldn't pull off the
Oh
white
my
hoods
God,
anymore.
wait,
Out of his mouth.
I think like instead of Sean saying something or Rothesy just kind of puts a hand on Manny's shoulder. It's like he's been through a lot. Like it's very sincere. Like Rothesy's like, yeah, he's got a lot to be angry about actually. Like it's really tough for him actually on the streets. Like you've gotten to me. Like I'm now like on your side.
Maybe you
Yeah,
could do some
maybe
more with
immediately
that family
snipes-
money than these powers of yours. Who gives a shit about your stupid little space powers?
In the background, we see Flois is having an arm wrestling competition with like 4 Divi-Seans at once. They're all like, ugh.
I love being buddies with this guy.
You're encouraging them. I believe in
Yeah.
you.
It's like
Divi-Sean.
another one. Like it's like
Another!
three-
Yes.
So, okay, so they got little red dots on them, and they're chasing you around. They have these weird guns.
Guns are a new thing. It used to just be fucking sawed-offs and like fucking Glocks, you know, but
So
now
they
they
have.
don't think they've got these fucking proton pads. Bullshit.
Do they have powers?
No, that's the point. They're all like fucking normies.
So, let me get
And,
this
like-
straight. You're being chased by these guys that have weird red buttons, and they don't have powers, but they have weird tech. So where are they getting these weapons from?
How long have they been chasing you?
Shrug. Man. Today?
Okay,
Mhm.
so kind of recent.
Must have been
No,
doing
as in
something
like
to piss
how
them
long
off.
have they been chasing me? Like today? Do you mean?
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Well, no,
Like,
I mean like
yeah, what'd you do to piss them off?
I was born. I don't know. All of us who like live down in shelters have been chased at some point or another.
I guess I'll like. I feel like Rothesy's gonna like kind of call over to Tanvi and be like, hey, Tanvi, come over here.
Yeah. I was gonna say, does any of this sound familiar to Thanvi?
I mean, you know, an arms dealer.
Yeah, I was gonna also say, I don't know if do we have that gun anymore, or do we just like leave it?
Man, y'all just
Running.
left that gun on the street.
Well,
I was gonna say, I think
I
we just, like,
assume y'all
dropped
are
it.
like
I assume-
confident enough.
yeah,
Because especially since 2 of you stayed behind to have a whole disaster of a news interview.
I'll bet
Tanvi.
Tanvi picked it up if it
Yeah.
looked weird and familiar in some way.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Let's get a flashback panel.
it just
Editors.
editors
Or
know
not even
Tanvi
like
did
a
pick it
Deus Ex Machina, like,
Yeah.
oh, you mean this?
Yeah.
Pull out of your jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you recognize that at all? Or does this sound any familiar? You spent time on the street.
Yeah, I
I mean, this sounds like villainous activity to me.
God,
Sorry.
he's like such a fucking hero. Sounds like village
Thank
activity to
you.
me.
Finally,
I like- I
someone.
poke-
And then she's just like, "Nah, okay, I guess.
Yeah, Commissioner, I'm really helping.
Push him.
She tries to like remember if she can think of any villains that pulled stunts like this, but I'm assuming she can't really like think of anything like that in particular. She's like, if I don't know when. I mean, mostly I was just doing my own thing with my mentor, but I don't recall like teaming up with anyone that was hunting down powered people. That would be weird. We are powered, so I don't know why we would. If my mentor knew anything, I never got word of that, but she's like kind of looking at the weapon. Is like, this handiwork looks familiar. I haven't seen this exact gun before, but I've seen this type of tech before. There's someone in those circles that makes stuff like this. Same thing, I don't remember them going hunting powered people. I mean, we would sometimes get tech from them, but
Okay.
that might be a place to start.
Well, then what are we waiting for? Says Floas, who is coming back with a couple of Sean's like riding on her shoulders.
No disrespect, but I don't think it's gonna go over so well if a bunch of us show up to an arms dealer who doesn't know us. I mean, I've seen movies. Those kinds of things, you know, they're always like, who's the new guy? And they're all like, oh, it's cool, it's just a friend. And then it's never cool.
Never cool.
I don't want to end up in the back of somebody's truck, man.
Not again.
Not again.
Oh, no.
Oh my god.
Hey, we got more raiders. Hello, hello.
Welcome, everybody.
Hello.
Wow.
We're teaming up with the villains. It's great.
Yeah.
Villains.
The real enemy is
both.
capitalism.
It's a big
Singular and plural.
Right.
Tanvi, do you think you can do this on your own?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to.
She's just like, I mean, I don't.
Do you think? I like Rosa's kind of like. Do you do you want to take him with you? I like point to Sean.
What are we gonna fucking put on fake mustaches and glasses and just walk in there? What the hell? What am I doing here?
You're the one who has the information on the people who's trying to hunt you down.
Also, if you get thrown in a trunk, you can just disappear. So
Yeah,
just
just
keep,
only
just
works
keep a spare.
if I've got another one, like on the inside.
Yeah, what's the distance on your guys?
Yeah, you could send a fake you with me.
You want to buy me dinner first? Jesus.
I did, asshole.
Like, you gestured
you're-
to like the garage,
Yeah.
the
Fucking
gas
real
station
cheap date.
nachos and everything.
I'll
Oh,
put it on
shit.
her card.
Oh my god.
Divi-Sean,
Wait, can I?
Divi-Sean's
Thonvi
been
pulls
through a
out your
lot.
card.
Can I a real cheap date? I want this to be like, oh yeah, well ask me out properly next time.
Oh.
Maybe I will.
Yeah. we can continue.
Thonvi like
Never
pops
dated a
one
cop
up.
before.
Oh.
Manny jumps up between the two of you, and he's so small, but he does the tiny like little hands separating the two of you. Like, anyway, Divi-Sean's been through a lot. We don't need to make him work any harder than he already has. I think it's right, Tanvi, you should go alone, but you won't be alone, because we'll be there, waiting in case something happens.
At the same time as you
do
say,
the me, but we'll be your backup.
at the same
'Cause
time you
that's what a
say,
team does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what Bartok says.
What,
oh my
what?
god.
You
Thonvi pops that one out of existence.
Destroy.
She's like, anyone else got nicknames for us?
I'm like picking up some of the shelves finally in the background and like
We're
ordering
talking about-
around a couple
We're the
Seans.
villains. They resort to violence as a first resort, but we're the villains. I see how it is.
Oh my
It's
fucking
fine. I was a
God.
villain. Sometimes I relapse.
Yeah, we know who you are.
Ooh.
I do have a very good reputation.
Oh.
Bad, but you know what I mean.
I think as a brother C will be like, okay, all right, you're right, Manny, you're right. I think it's time that we work smarter, not harder, right? And Tanvi can go and meet up with his contact. You'll take the gun. We'll keep an eye off on a distance in case things go bad. Sean, if what you're telling us is true, you're a part of our community, and the Community Service Club is here to help you.
You know what? It's not even worth. Sure.
Flois
mean-
is like genuinely moved. She's like,
What?
"Hmm."
Do you want my
Yeah,
snap or
We have like a team panel, like we have a team panel of all of us kind of like looking kind of nice, and then Divi-Sean's like, the fuck does that mean?
We have like a Power Rangers pose.
I mean,
You want my snap or do you have a bat signal or
No, not yet. The name's in progress, okay? It's a school club right now.
it's a fucking school club? It's a fucking you hear that? It's a fucking school club.
They're all
want our-
talking to each other.
Do you want our help or not? We can toss you, like, I can toss you to jail right now, all right? But we're here choosing to believe you.
Oh, you fucking would like that, wouldn't you? Just abusing your authority. Fine. Fuck it.
All right, and I will meet you, and you for a rematch. And she's like, she holds out her big chunky like otter boxed up smartphone to exchange contact information with them.
Perfect.
Oh.
They all
Oh my god, we exchanged numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so good.
They all have different numbers.
I love it.
One of them like reaches into the back of the convenience store and like, Razzie, hey, you fucking ring this up, and like gets a burner phone. And I think that's where we end, as like y'all
Yeah.
like sort of develop a plan to continue looking into these power people hunters next time by following into Danvi's contact from her previous antics.
Ooh, I'm excited.
And with that, we close out this issue 12, and we will pick it up next time with issue 13. Paint the town redder.
Part 2.
Oh,
2 of X. And with that, let's go into their mechanics for ending a session.
And the session moves, baby.
End of session moves. At the end of the session, everybody gets to choose one. Either they grow closer to the team, you grow into your self-image of yourself, or you grow away from the team. Danvi, where you at?
I think she. I think she grew into the team.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to decide between her own image of herself, but I don't know that she really did anything to like shift how she felt about herself. Or yeah, I think she grew into the team though. It felt
Any
closer.
specific moments that highlight that?
Yeah, someone made you feel welcome.
Okay. I think the moment before we went into the fight with Manny,
Yeah.
just kind of like, okay, even though we had this really intense moment beforehand where it felt like everything was kind of falling apart in the group, we sort of came together, even though it was like in a messy kind of way. I think just having that kind of like routine moment between us, it was like, okay, we had a fight and then it kind of got resolved. It looks like we can fix these things when they happen.
Yeah. So you grow closer to the team. Explain who you made feel welcome, so Manny did. Give influence to that character and clear a condition or mark potential.
Okay, so I have influence over time now.
Mhm.
Again.
Back to it. Do I clear?
You picked up a condition this time, right?
Yeah, and I think I still had guilty from the previous
maybe, I mean, I can see either like getting closer to the team, like kind of remove some of that insecurity, or seeing that you kind of handled this situation back on the same freeway as before differently, like at least for your part better, like maybe remove some guilt.
Yeah, I think I like the guilty going away a little bit more, especially because we had kind of like, even between me and Manny, we had kind of a rough fight the episode before that just kind of sat unresolved, and we were just like, we're just angry. And this time it kind of resolved a little better. I think she's like, okay, I did good. A little bit.
Speaking of Manny, Simon, where do you think Manny is sitting? in all
Yeah,
this?
I think Manny grew closer to the team this issue.
Yeah.
Everyone, I think, obviously we had that heart-to-heart at the beginning. Tried to like help him come closer to everyone, even though he was not invited. Ironically, I think Rhodacy is the one who made him feel the most welcome. Because like, even though you were like, oh, I don't want you to come along with us on the patrol, even after that moment, Rhodacy was the one that's like, you don't have to do this alone. I still will stand up for you, even if I don't always remember who you are.
Rhodacy, who later abandoned everyone and just did something wrong.
Yeah.
Ironically. It's a mixed bag.
People are flawed.
But I give Rhodacy influence. You already have influence, so you get to shift my labels.
Did I when I shifted your labels earlier, did I spend my influence on you that you gave us?
No, it stays.
So it's just if I have influence, I can shift.
Yeah.
It's a
Okay.
binary thing.
The only way you lose it is if I take it away through a move, or if you choose to take advantage of an influence
And spend it
for a specific set of actions.
Okay, cool. I wasn't sure you were to left something. So I get to shift your labels.
Yep.
You're feeling more intimidated of, I think. I don't want to shift your labels the same way I did before. I feel like I don't know. I want to be up for suggestions. How do you feel like maybe what changed?
I think you really pushed this like you're a kid angle. Like you're part of the team. You don't have to be doing everything by yourself. We work together. I think you're probably pushing my mundane up.
Yeah. That feels about what I would have done, but I'm a little unsure about how.
Actually,
maybe...
I think it's less mundane and more saving.
I like that. Let's change it up
Yeah.
a bit because Manny's been pushing mundane a lot, and I think it would be more interesting. Savior is
That's it's like protective, self-sacrificing. I think I see. I part of the influence is like watching that modeled by Rhodacy. It's like
interesting. Okay.
you might have recklessly shot off, but it was to also like catch the villain and protect people and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's like
And
you
I
can
think-
be a kid and a hero. It's like a little bit of, and then maybe
I wonder if you might have also pushed my superior down.
I was gonna say either danger or superior, or sorry, freak or superior, and let's push the superior down because I feel like we've been moving your freak and your mundane a lot. Let's kind of introduce.
It's less about like being a monster and more like you don't need to be the smartest person in the room. You don't have to be the best there is. You just have to have a good heart. I think is the theme.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. I'm gonna mark potential.
Sweet.
These are my 3 conditions.
Amazing. Beautiful.
That's me.
Viditya, where's Roxy?
I think she's grown into her own image of herself.
Yeah, sounds right.
It's been a very selfish episode for her. Explain how you see yourself and why. Shift one label up and another down. I think she's trying real fucking hard to be a hero. I think I want to lead into like that she's like angrily like, no, I am orbital. I am doing good. I'm here to help people, and then I catch villains. I make sure people are safe. Like all of these different things is like she's like I'm going to embody this. Like, and I think like she gets kind of the angry side of it, but then also near the end of this is like, oh wait, there's like actually something fucking happening. Like we need to deal with this. Like this is a kid. This is like another person. Like and they're also in danger, and I need to like recognize that. So like, okay, how can we help you? Is like another her being like, I need to be a better hero, right? Yeah. That's kind of a whole through line for her is she wants to not only be orbital but like the best, like a better one, right? And I think that's so. I think I'm gonna bump her savior up.
Sounds right.
And I want to put down her because she's like I'm not like I need to be a hero.
Right.
I'm not a normal person.
Yeah, like amongst kids, I have to be the hero.
You're not having a conversation with the news. You're flying away.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
And Alex, where's Flo is at?
I think I'm also growing into my own vision of myself, and I think the last conversation that she had with Sean made a big impression on her, like being able to just relate about like people not getting your name right, and like talk, just like sitting and talking and like horsing around and stuff. I think that's because like he didn't treat me like a weirdo or an alien or like couldn't relate to my things, right? We were both sort of mutually doing that. So I think I'm gonna put my mundane up and my freak down.
I think, and that is the end of all the mechanics stuff. So as is tradition, at the end of the comic, we look at all the alternate covers of this issue. I think the first alternate cover is probably it's that moment sort of it's like a real like it's like a sketch, it's like a draft that was never like taken to the final like inking and coloring. It's a draft of a hero like standing in front of you all like at the convenience store, as in like the rumble of the convenience store, as like Rodasi is holding up Sean and like looking like angry Superman about to break this kid's neck, and then another hero's like landing, and this hero's like in he's in like a trench coat and got like a bubble helmet and a jetpack, and he's holding out like a really old like kind of ray gun. And readers of ADH Comics would know this is what was his name? Dr. Jettison.
Yeah, wonderful.
An old hero who got lost in space and then came back out the black hole that Grandma Orbital made, and sort of came into the future like some 70 years later, and now is like a man at a time. The whole thing, it's like has like all this retro future technology and like mixed in some alien technology and all this stuff. And in a previous draft was supposed to save this kid, but like through edits, the ending of the issue changed, so they didn't get to show it.
That's great.
Dr. Jettison.
Who's got an idea for another alternate cover for this issue?
I think I have a nice simple one. It's just it says like the paint it red, and the red is like really big with like sort of like sketchy like bubble letters that are filled in, but they are colored red by like a big spill of like the what did we call it, a slorpo, the delicious iced drink that has gone across, and like it's just the floor of the of the convenience store, but it also
Oh.
has like every other red thing that showed up in like a panel somewhere is there, like a little I Spy Easter egg thing. Like there's like a traffic cone and like a candy bar and all that stuff filling in all
So
the
good.
other space.
I like it, and then even like in the corner, there's the red button.
Yeah,
Of,
button.
Yeah,
There we go.
Yeah,
like
it's
as
so
like
good.
an Easter egg of like, hey,
Oh, there's an exclamation point at the end, and then it's the little dot is the
Yeah.
dot of the exclamation point.
Yeah. Vid, you seemed like you had an idea.
I did. And then it kind of left because I really enjoyed that one, and I was like just bubbling, and I was like, wait, that's really cool, and then now it's like kind of gone.
Flew away.
Oh, I do have one actually. I think it is. I really want a panel of just a bunch of Divi-Seans, just a clamoring of them,
Mhm.
right? Like it's not even really like in like a space, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's just an absolute cacophony of them in all
Yeah.
like weird areas and places, like climbing over each other. And it's actually no, I'll say like, and it's the blue buggy.
Yeah, they're all like
So you're, like,
spilling out.
spilling out of it, climbing out of it, like on top of it. Like there's just a bunch of them. I think it's like, you know, hey, guess who's back in this issue kind of thing.
Nice.
Everybody's favorite C tier villain. Simon or you have any ideas for alternate covers?
Yeah, mine is it's a late night talk show.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a spotlight, two curtains on either side, the scrim background of Sunset City at night with the little white dots and all the buildings for the
Yeah.
lights.
The Conan background.
Right. It's like we're looking at Conan or that kind of setup.
Mhm.
On the right side is the semicircle wood table with Nancy Naranja looking just like wide eyes, full of stress, like bored, like super frustrated. She's got the little squiggle anger line coming off of her out of her head, like the burning effect.
Yeah.
And on the left side is the team in like formal wear, like their interview guests.
Yeah.
On the couch. So Manny's like leaning forward and telling like a way too big, like a too enthusiastic of a story. With his like one arm is a bat wing and the other one is like his little regular claw. Rhodacy is like trying to look prim and proper, like with
Yeah.
her crossed legs. Like maybe levitating a coffee mug.
Yeah, something. Yeah.
Flois is like leaned back with her arms around everyone on the couch.
Yeah.
With the muscles rippling, like bulging out of her suit or whatever she's wearing. And Tanvi's like sitting on the arm of the couch,
Yes.
like arms folded, like as if.
Rue, do you have an idea for an alternate cover?
I don't think so. I also was just thinking of like a Divi-Sean one, but
Yeah.
it was just kind of similar. Just one where there was like a bunch of them just hanging out, like in a room.
Yeah. It's a wraparound cover. That's the back cover to the Divi-Sean cover. So it's like,
Just chilling out playing a board game.
yeah, it's them in their
Themself.
apartment. Like, two of them playing chess, two of them playing like a fighting game together, three of them in the kitchen just making a mess.
One of them poking their head out of the shower curtain with suds.
Yeah.
Aw.
Still with the mask and the fucking jet.
Yep.
All look very Deadpool like kind of
It's
covers.
a very Deadpool-esque cover.
And with that, we have you arrived to the back cover of our issue. Thank you so much for joining us, and please join me in thanking my wonderful cast. Let's hear who they are, where they're from, where you can find them. starting with Charu.
Yep, it's going to me. Hello, everyone. I'm Rue. You can follow me on Twitter at CherryDrop. I do production for Varsity Hues and also for Valor Live at Valorous Games when it's going. I'm also a game designer, writer, editor. You can see my work in Unbreakable Revolution, Grasping Nettles, and the upcoming Slayer's Almanac when that comes out. You can pick up my games at rue7.itch.io. And recently I put out a very personal and introspective article on startplaying.games called Game Design and the Pieces of Myself, and I hope you check it out. Drop a link in the chat.
Please go check that out. It's a great piece. Next, we have Simon.
Hey, I'm Simon. You can find me on Twitter at Lucha Libris, where I talk about the intersections of social justice and game design and things like that. I am a tabletop creator as well. You can find my games at colorsplaygames.itch.io. I am a voice actor for the queer sci-fi and fantasy audio drama The Penumbra Podcast. If you want to hear yourself represented in stories, that's at The Penumbra Pod on Twitter, thepenumbrapodcast.com. That's what I got going on right now.
Alex.
Hey everyone, I'm Alex. You can find me on Twitter at Fractal Dragon, and I design games at fractaldragon.itch.io. One of those games is Dragon Hearts, which we're going to be releasing fairly shortly on Forever GM, which is a podcast I'm also on. So we've got that all recorded. We're just editing it up, which might take a while, but keep your eye on that. Follow at Forever GM on Twitter to see when it comes out.
Very good run. I'm not biased at all.
Yeah. Oh, you're so good at it.
Oh, it was fun. It was a good time.
Viditya.
Everybody, I've been Viditya. I will continue to be Viditya. And you can find me online at Viditya Voleti, everywhere. So Twitter and Instagram, itch, Twitch, Patreon, all that stuff. You can find my games at vidityavoleti.itch.io. Check out Bloodbean Badlands. That's my most recent release, and it's just a good time. I really enjoy it. I don't really know if I have much else to plug. I will say, if you haven't already, check out Deimos Academy on Kickstarter. It's a really cool game made by Austin and Banana Chan, which I was a design consultant on, and they are very close to funding. Very, very close to funding. I think they're like some 100 or something away last I checked, so it may have already funded. It may be just right there. And that, you know, it's good to check it out. Support a really interesting kind of horror game that has to do with going back to your old prep school. Oh, they funded. Okay, cool. I know.
Sweet.
Like about like 3 or 4 hours ago, it was still like way up in the air. So still go back it. Yeah, that's what I got done.
All right. And I have I'm Kevin. Kevin Thien of Nguyen. You can find my games over at winconditions.itch.io. That's Win, Nguyen for win. And you'll never find me anywhere, coppers. Never. But you will find a close friend of everybody's here, Nevin Holmes' new game. Just released on Kickstarter the other day. Just a Card. If you want to play some Ace Attorney type bullshit, courtroom drama, but like real goofy and fun, and like where you all make up a court case together. One you gets to play the prosecution, one you get to play the defense, and the other gets to play the judge or the bench. Please check that out. It's super fun. A bunch of us here have tried it out, and we can all attest to how much fun it is. Some of us have come up with real goofy shit, like a space murder of the only living creature on an asteroid. And is that genocide or is it not? Who knows? We figured it out.
We did a game where a building was stolen.
Yes.
A building was kidnapped. Sorry. Very different.
Okay, so some of us here have played good games of Just a Card.
Yeah, that's.
I spoke a bit too early.
Stealing a building was the good one.
Was the good
Fan of Ace Attorney or My Cousin Vinny.
Yes.
You're gonna find a lot to love in Just a Card, so please go check
Thank you so much for joining us. That's all from us this week. You can find us next week right here, same time, same channel.
Same bad time, same bad channel.
We're going to be
we're gonna
raiding.
go raid Intelligame. So stick around with us, get your emotes out, and send some love and hype to Josh, aka Wallstormer, who runs Intelligame. Josh is a friend of mine, really insightful individual who talks a lot about media analysis in terms of games, how games influence the world around us, and vice versa. Josh is also the producer and narrative designer for Kiss You, which is also on Kickstarter, which is a spicy 18+ dating sim / arcade puzzler. If that sounds really interesting to you, go check that out, please. And stick with us as we go raid Intelligame playing some Elden Ring. Thanks for sticking with us here.
Hey, yo.